G'day, this is Captainoob, and another weapon has jumped out of Call of Duty right into Fallout 4. This here is the Cronen Squall from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2022. It's a higher caliber rifle of bullpup design, complete with custom sounds, animations, and a whole lot of customization as well. It's based on a real-life firearm called the General Dynamics RM277. It's firing the 6.8mm cartridges, which, if you cast your minds back to the SIG Spear, is firing the same cartridge, and it's part of the same program for the US military to eventually replace the M4A1 and the M249 service rifles and machine guns to a more modern platform with a little bit of extra punch from the 6.8mm rounds, which is a lot compared to your standard 5.56s that those previously mentioned firearms would shoot. Now, I don't think it's actually won the contract. I think the SIG cleared this, and I think one of the reasons that may have helped the SIG over the line is this thing's a bullpup rifle, which, you know, you've got advantages here. You've got a short overall length for a very long barrel length, which is nice, but there's a factor in the AR-15 design of the SIG Spear that would lend itself well to the muscle memory of all of the US soldiers, which have been using those M4s for years, so, they might have to readjust their way or just muscle memory of reloading a magazine that is behind the trigger. It's a lot easier to access a magazine if it's right there in front of you rather than reaching behind where you're holding it in your hand, your preferred hand. It looks ambidextrous, though. It looks like the ejection port can be put on both sides, so that's nice. Anyways, let's get to the customization. So, we've got the automatic receiver, and just off the bat here, that's just standard automatic. We're doing 99 damage, so I'm feeling like this thing is going to be quite powerful. Now, when I first looked at this, I thought it was like a sniper rifle because it's pretty long and there's a bullpup and got big bullets, but no, it's auto. You can have it a semi-auto as well if you want to make use of the sniper perks or anything like that. You also get a little bit of extra range out of this thing, so if you want to snipe with it, that's a good idea. I will say, though, despite this thing having a long-ass barrel as it is, 107 range is not a lot. I think you get around 160 if you've got a suppressed long-barreled combat rifle, for example. That's what it was back in Fallout 76. I actually don't quite know the numbers, but I would imagine it'd be similar. We'll go for powerful auto receiver, doing 172 damage already without Ace Operator. Very nice. Legendary effect provided by Legendary Modification. Skip that. Now, you might notice how we go through these ammo things here. They'll adjust your performance of the weapon accordingly, but you've also got the burden, I guess, of actually crafting these individual rounds. Now, you do all of this on a chemistry workbench, I'll show you later, but not a lot of these weapon mods actually has proprietary ammo formats that only this weapon mod can use, and usually if you've got overpressure rounds or incendiary, it's just using these standard 6.8, so a little bit of attention to detail there. You might drain your resources a little bit by making it, I mean, they're less versatile because you won't be able to shoot hollow points and overpressure off the same cartridge, or at least as far as the game's concerned, so it might help. Also, you'll also notice that it actually changes the model of the bullets in the magazine, which is like suspiciously see-through, probably a little bit too much, but we can at least appreciate the overpressured rounds, like giving us even more damage. 208 for an automatic rifle, very nice. Wonder if that'll increase the recoil. Probably. Now, for the sights, we can throw on reflex sights. There's also holographics with an option for a magnifier, which you can flip down. There's even more. Man, if this thing had an underbarrel grenade launcher, I'd almost get, like, ISA rifle vibes out of the first Killzone. I'm gonna play Killzone again. Freedom and Weep, look at all these sights. There's so many, including scopes and other things. Is that a World War II sight? No, it's from 2023, so probably not. And yeah, there's lots going on here. A lot. We're going to go for a standard sight here. Let's go for a version of the holographic, which has a magnifier which is folded down. We won't need the magnifier for this one. And you can throw a big 50-round drum on this thing if you feel like it. Funnily enough, the rounds, the model doesn't actually change. It's just hidden in there. It's no longer a see-through thing. But yeah, that might cause like handling problems, because if you look at the rifle right now, like, that's totally blocking where your wrist would be sitting, so probably not a good idea in real life. Normally you'd want to have them like tapered off to the side though, but whatever. So you can change the pistol grip on this thing. A lot of these modification descriptions you'll find is just like standard text fluffy stuff from COD, so it doesn't mean anything. Just pick what you want. We'll go for the X10 grip, and we'll go over the barrels. Now, the longest barrel we can equip on this one is 6.8. No, that's HR 6.8. Does that mean heavy rifle? Who knows? Anyways, I get a little bit of extra range out of that. And the comb here is what they call this cheek rest. Is that a... Do they call them combs? Is that actually the thing they call them? This one's got a cool belt attachment thing on it, so I don't know, it might be easy to sling it with that thing. But apparently it's going to make it handle better and increases aiming speed and sprint to fire speed. Probably doesn't actually, but you know, the flavor's there. And of course, you can throw on suppressors, silencers, in fact, you might call them. There's also compensators, there's flash hiders, there's bigger suppressors, and bigger and better versions. 260 damage, yes please. And compensators, did I mention those things? Plenty of flavor here for you to pick whatever you want. And on the lower, you can throw on some grips. We'll try to find an angled grip, I feel like that's cool. Commando grip, awesome. There's also these ones, which look a little bit different. These ones are more vertical, bit stubby there. That one's nice and long though for lots of gripping on the rifle. And the tactical is actually on this side, so you get a choice between laser sights or flashlights. We'll go for a... No, we don't need a red beam. Red beam, that matches the outfit, kind of. And I think that pretty much covers it, except for the stocks, which perhaps you can control the recoil better if you choose to put on that stock. Hell if I know. It's extra weighty, so that might help me control the recoil a little bit, but... yeah, that's pretty much it. The powerful auto version of the Cronen Squall. Is this thing cursed now? Probably. Also, isn't it kind of weird that all of these new generation military weapons are all in Desert Tan? Do they know something we don't? What's going on there? You gonna send blokes back to the Middle East to die for no reason again? Please don't. Alright, so on your chemistry workbench, find Cronen Squall as weapons. Scroll down. W is pretty late in the alphabet. Now, here's how you craft the rounds. For 10 steel and 10 lead, you get X amount of rounds. 100. That's actually really good bang for your buck. So, you know, despite my first initial thoughts, it looks like feeding this thing is going to be pretty easy. We'll definitely get rounds of different flavors, but overpressure just seems to be the best all around, just for that extra little bit of damage that it gives you. But who knows if it's going to make the recoil go crazy, but we'll experiment with a couple of other things. And of course, the Cronen Squall. Gun nut rank 2, interestingly enough. 1 adhesive, 12 aluminum, 9 plastic, 14 screws, 6 springs, and 7 steel. That's pretty cheap, don't you think? We'll create a few of these, including like a super sniper status version and maybe something else. I'll see you when we get started. Welcome back to the Immersive Gunners Plaza. Here is our Squall in first person, and if you bash, you do that. It also creates like a knife hit on your targets if you poke metal. Weird, right? And maybe this has got a really sharp foregrip or something. Careful not to cut your fingers. So, the thing about this rifle is, like, there's barely any recoil at all, which, you know, is kind of perplexing. But then you realize, whilst looking at this thing firing in third person, it's got a reciprocating barrel. How cool's that? I wonder if they reverse engineered that from the radium rifle, because in Far Harbor, that's a weapon that has that. And that would help absorb some of the recoil of these big cartridges, which is nice because it means it's going to be very easy to shoot stuff. There's the reload animation in first person. Here's the sniper version that I made. Also got a suppressor, but with a 6x scope, see-through scope, and you reload in third person. Looks, I think the reloads are slightly different depending on which magazine you're using, which is really good attention to detail. Very nice. Next, we've got this one, a drum magazine, foregrip, and iron sights, because apparently it's just a requirement to show off iron sights on a weapon mod, even though I've never done it. I'm getting more and more complaints. Hey, where are the iron sights, you fucking retard, they tell me. It's like, alright, here you go. You happy? Now you can click off the video. Next, we've got this one, another semi-auto version with a smaller magazine, incendiary rounds, which don't appear to be leaving any incendiary behind, so perhaps that means either A, they're bugged, or B, they're going to actually immolate targets without having that legendary effect attached to it. But we'll start off with this one. I think I've got the 30-round magazine in it, and we'll just hop here and begin our target practice. Would like a little bit more zoom in with this thing, to be honest, and I'm wondering if we get any sniper knockdowns with this. Generally, with the see-through scopes, you don't get that, just because maybe they just can't be bothered adding the scoped keyword to the rifles or whatever. Hang on. No, Mantis. No one cares what you think. Go away. There we go. Glorious sneak criticals will be mine. Now, there's a little bit of recoil in the animation here, but there's no real problem controlling this thing. You can fire it quite quickly, and as a well, at least video game logic. It's a bullpup gun, so its hipfire is going to be good. Right. Good enough. Well, so far so good. We've had a pretty cruisy run at just gunning these guys down without too much of a fuss, but at some stage we're going to get detected, like walking out here. And yep, this is the overpressure round, and that was a very fast kill. Brilliant. Okay. Might have to watch the rounds. You might have to switch between versions that have different bullet types, just so I don't run out when I'm using a suppressed version against an enemy that actually might be a problem. Okay. I think what you saw there, despite this thing's pretty good damage at a range that is close or fairly medium range, this thing's range stat is going to drag its damage down pretty quickly. And you'll see that if you engage, especially when you've got a shorter barrel like this one, where I've basically got no range at all. But it seems to be doing pretty well so far. And that is the power of a short barrel and the foregrip. I don't think the foregrip increases hipfire accuracy. Is that one of the things they did in Battlefield 3 back in the day? I can't remember, to be honest. I know in Battlefield 4 I told you exactly what the foregrip variants of grip would do. It was accuracy on the move for the vertical ones. Anyways, time for VATS. Wasn't the crit kill that I intended to get there. Perhaps the 6.8mm rounds have problems with penetration, I guess. I don't know what's going on there, but let's just back off a little bit because I'm starting to lose health. And I think there's like ghouls around here as well that might distract them. Never mind, it's dead. Now, what I really wanted to do was utilize a 1-4 medium range. I think this is a higher range scope than what I had on my suppressed version, so good job, me. It's not a huge deal that we don't have, like, super long-range scopes because the weapon stats don't really lend itself well to having a super long range. And sure, it's a sniper. It's like a heavy caliber rifle, but it ain't no DMR type weapon. That earthquake happening on my screen when I decide to shoot this thing fast in semi-auto. Alright, that's what I wanted. Show yourself. There we go. It's quite discombobulating firing this weapon into a bush like that. Oh, there's one there. Terrible time to reload. We got some of our health back, but we're gonna have to be a little bit careful here. Did I cancel that reload? Damn it. How about we just flog VATS for a bit? That sounds good. Looks like we're well within this thing's range. Perhaps the suppressor penalty was screwing me over a little bit before. Goddamn foliage. Come here. There we go. What have I got over there? Got a commander. Yeah, so the range on this, yeah, we're just witnessing that after all these shots. I gotta say, I think I've had better penetration out of a vanilla game 308 round, but I'll just leave that conversation as is right there. Maybe not the correct choice of variant to use in that situation, but we managed to get through it. We'll go back to our suppressed auto one now. There we go, much better at closer ranges. So not too bad there. We kind of got a little bit overconfident and sloppy there, but this thing's just got me out of that situation that I found myself in pretty quickly. You know, it's a pretty reliable weapon. I think we saw from the the damage numbers that it was going to be a very powerful weapon. And I don't know, I'm not sure if this is just a random thing that the mod didn't consider, the mod author, or whether it was intentional that this thing is going to be very, very good up close and personal, and that its damage is going to quickly taper off over long distances. So there's a little bit of risk and reward in there that I like, but I don't know, I'm not a ballistics expert, but you'd think that, you know, the big 6.8 mils rounds are going to hold on to their damage a little bit longer than that. Also, works with the classic holstered weapons. You love to see it. Very nice. Also, Kira got a facelift. I changed the face a little bit. Alright, so it looks like the Swan has made some friends with some Rust Devils, I believe, so we'll sort them out as quickly as we can. Maybe we'll get back to a little bit of sniping with this scope that doesn't really lend itself well to it. These guys are in the Rust Devils. We've shot at humanoid targets before. These ones should be very squishy indeed. Just gonna see if I can proc a sniper proc. I don't think that's gonna happen, to be honest. Not a huge deal, but it'd be nice to see that happen one of these days. Now, you done? No, not quite. I think they've aggroed something all the way down there as well. Hey, he fell over. That may have been a sniper proc. So it was just bad XCOM Todd Howard RNG that would have caused that. We'll keep sending some rounds over range here. Let's see what we can do. Hard to judge these hitboxes sometimes. Well, maybe it was just a coincidence, but we certainly got a knockdown on that ghoul just before. So I don't know what's going on. Also, if you want to skip the recoil animation, if it's too much, just play in third person. That'll be fine. And if we can just keep backing off from this guy, job done. All right. At arm's reach, maybe a little bit longer, I suppose. At medium range, this thing can do a pretty competent job, even if it is semi-auto and skipping out a little bit of that DPS. But damage per bullet-wise there, that was pretty impressive. So yeah, that was good. And as you come closer, we're lucky enough not to get detected there, but we were able to capitalize on that sneak critical damage pretty well, and it's held up well. So yeah, that's pretty good. Let's move on to the next one. Perhaps it's a good indicator to know that the weapon is extremely effective if I haven't used bullet time VATS, but I'm going to use it anyway. Cop this, Mr. Ghoul. Gets through the shots pretty quickly there, but he's gone into mutated, and we can use this reload here in VATS just to do it. And if we can kill him in like half broad daylight without him being detected, then that would be brilliant. Perhaps if we had just a little bit more range in this thing, it would have got the job done, but it doesn't matter. Job's done now. Okay, this is wiping the floor with everything we can throw it at it. So perhaps the complaints about this thing's range is a little bit unwarranted, because we wouldn't want to make things too easy now, would we? That was a synth bird. You all saw it. All right, let's move on to the next thing. Okay, now for a true test. This here, what's it called? Lobster Man. Yeah, he's always a pain in my ass when I try to take him out. So today, I want to kick his ass. And we'll start this fight with a big, massive amount of criticals to his face. Yes, that'll do. Perfect. All right, then we just hose him down, keep him staggered in the water. He can't do anything. But don't stand still, because he does have those panic fire spits, and they will mess you up. And a little bit less susceptible to stagger than our ghoulish friend that we fought before. But I think we're going to be just fine. And let me just resync the bullets firing sound there. I suppose there's a little bit of luck depending on whether you actually get the stagger or not, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. I think you're done, Mr. Crab. What? Impossible! Alright, so this is the first time we're fighting the boss here, and the plan here, which I haven't tried before or anything, is we're going to shoot him in the face with all of our VATS criticals just to try to get as much damage as possible. Also, no, like it doesn't really mean much, but I've also found that Kira's endurance wasn't at a good level, and that's why she may have not been able to survive that fight for, I mean, other fights at Immersive Gunners Plaza for as long as some of the other more tough girls. I think Kira's one of those operators that worries about breaking nails and stuff. You see, she, as a sniper, she sort of stays back, and perhaps she hasn't got the Grognak blood in her like Matilda does, or just have that ice cold steel resolve like Winter. And that's okay now, because now we can survive being loogied on by giant lobster monsters. But we should probably just like Solid Snake out of here. Although I've got a plan. It's a brilliant, cunning plan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Today we're going to manufacture criticals. Cop this. And we've actually gotten in a nerd rage. Luckily, VATS protection was there. So, there goes the nail, and you've pissed her off. There we go. I can't believe I got it first try. Now I gotta clean up all of its babies before they turn into a whole new army of creatures. You don't want that. We'll shoot them with the incendiary rounds. Oh, look, I saw some fire effects there for a second. None of the corpses are on fire. Like, I understand that, like, it's very unlikely that they ignite like that. I think Mythbusters said flaming arrows don't even ignite people. But, you know, this is Fallout. It's land of fantasy where everything works on logic, video game Todd Howard logic, which I don't need to explain that more. But, you know, it'd be nice if there was a little bit more of a flame effect going on with this particular variant of round. But what can you do, eh? So that there was the Cronen Squall. I gotta say, this is a proper certified endgame weapon, and if you need a little bit more punch in your endgame levels, then this is a brilliant weapon to keep. Also, if you think the glowing sea is the most irradiated part of the wasteland, it's actually this place. I don't know why. Like, there's no evidence of nukes being dropped here because there's a skeleton there, not a vaporized man, which you wouldn't be able to see by now, but why is this area so radioactive? It's just weird. Maybe it's like a dumping site. Maybe the answers lie in those random containers. And also, why is there a pair of ghoul legs sticking out of there? Damn it, Todd. Anyway, so if you are interested to see this weapon in your game, I highly recommend you check it out because it's one of those COD ports that they're all really, really good and well done. They've developed a system to do it right, and they all do it so consistently, and they're all friends, so obviously they'll help each other out, but they all do it so consistently, it's like it's coming from the same author over and over, which I kind of love. It's because it means that before you, like, download and mess around with the weapon, you can already expect it and know it's going to be a very quality weapon mod, so, you know, I'm confident with all of the COD ports that come out there, and it's kind of weird that these days, a lot of the weapon mods, like the weapon modding scene in Fallout these days, is just dominated by Call of Duty. I understand they're very easy to make, and there might be some mod authors that, you know, put hard work in creating their models and everything for themselves, but in the end of the day, it's content, and I like shooting stuff with cool guns, so that it ticks the boxes for me, but yeah, it's weird though. Because there's a little bit of hypocrisy in it, because I'm a big poser. I haven't played Call of Duty, I haven't downloaded any of the new Modern Warfare games. I just know of them. I've got friends that play them, of course, but I just sort of live vicariously through it, through, like, Fallout weapon mods. That's all I have with Contact and Call of Duty, which is fun. Anyways, I'm just talking shit at the moment. You're probably wondering what I'm going to wrap this up. It's now. Thank you very much for watching. Download the mods. Good. Also, Kira's a follower. I'm going to change her face and upload patches to the Nexus and things. Carla had a facelift too, like months back. And same as Vikkie. I could probably do an overhaul there. Thanks for watching. See ya.